And breaking now, we're following a very dangerous situation unfolding across parts of Arkansas, especially for the Little Rock Metro, with a tornado warning and a confirmed tornado in West Little Rock that is continuing to track off to the northeast. We're taking a live look right now. This is Charles Peak, our storm tracker that's out in Prairie County, Arkansas right now. And he has eyes on the sky. Gosh, there is a lot going on right now, Dr. Nab. We have a tornado emergency for Little Rock and the North Little Rock area, surrounding areas, as this is a very dangerous, massive tornado that has been spotted on the ground here west of Little Rock.
Yeah, confirmed large and destructive tornado just about 3 minutes ago was observed over Burns Park or near West Little Rock, moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. So it doesn't have much time to lessen its structure before it damages other parts of the Little Rock Metro.
Yeah, no, certainly. And of course, we were talking about the National Weather Service is taking cover. All operations are now being resumed from Memphis, Tennessee. Again, they're going to be under the gun later today, but right now it is all about Arkansas.
So our Charles Peak is in North Little Rock, Arkansas, same part of the metro area where the Weather Service office is located. That's where the radar is. That's the Weather Service that has taken shelter and operations taken over by Weather Service in Memphis. And my goodness, see, this is why we say don't go outside and try to confirm the tornado. It's really hard to see what's going on, especially once the precipitation that's really heavy picks up.
Yeah, look how quickly this has just changed over the last, 30 seconds that we've been watching the footage from Charles Peak. Also listening in, you can hear the rain coming down. So again, watching the supercell that has been really ramping up for several miles now.
Yeah, now this hook echo and the notch are really seriously about to go right over the radar. It's going right at it, just north of North Little Rock in the Sherwood area. That is the kind of the business end of the storm, but there's, especially in that rear flank downdraft, right behind the hook echo, that is where the really heavy precipitation is happening. And then the inflow is going right into the storm right here. So in this notch with the hook echo, that's where you'd expect the tornado to be. And here's the radar. It's right on the doorstep of the radar. Now, there are other radars in the region that we'll be able to track the storm with if this particular radar can't function or can't transmit after this. But the northern part of the Little Rock Metro, this is where the tornado emergency is really exerting its full force.
Yeah, we're tracking some of this right now with some times and towns. Again, this is north of Little Rock, a tornado emergency in place. Gravel Ridge, not too much more time. Jacksonville right after that, 247. Again, this is in the next 10 or 15 minutes. This is headed in your direction, and we have confirmation of a tornado.
And in Amboy, you've got a couple minutes. You got to take shelter right now. And look at how densely populated and built up this area is. There is a lot of structures in harm's way here. You've got to be in that lowest level, most interior room. And we are getting reports of damage in the Little Rock area, Colleen.
Yeah. And Scott, can you switch over to our correlation coefficient? Folks are talking about a debris ball that's crossing right now, I-40 right here as we're going into the North Little Rock area. Also have some confirmed damage in and around the area of Little Rock as well.
I wonder if we can zoom out just a little bit so we can see the debris signature on the radar here as it's approaching the radar. So downtown Little Rock to the south of that debris signature, the radar site to the northeast, and as this is quickly moving northeast at 55 miles an hour, we saw this coming, Colleen. It was making a beeline. And so that dropout in the correlation coefficient is co-located in space and time with the velocities of the mesoscale cyclone as it moves over. It just went over Interstate 40 near North Little Rock, and now moving quickly farther to the north and east, Highway 365, Parkway Drive. It's about to go over those zones, and we're going to take a live look at that general area. Look at the traffic stopping on I-40 where it just passed over in that general area.
Gosh, look at all the cars on the roadways. I know we've been urging folks to really try to get off the roadways this afternoon because there's nowhere to go. And of course, that overpass you see right there is a very unsafe place to seek shelter under an overpass like that. But once you're on the roads like this, when this comes over, I mean, you got nowhere to go. It's a really, really tough situation.
This is where the human activity on a busy Friday afternoon is meeting up with dangerous, life-threatening weather with people out and about wanting to, feel like they have to get things done. But if you're out on the roads, you are greatly increasing your danger. Whatever it is you're outside doing, it's got to wait. You know, you don't want to be out on the roads. That's one of the most dangerous places to be. And a lot of folks look like they were out there when the tornado went right in front of them.
Yeah, this is crossing right over I-40 and then is continuing a very dangerous situation moving up around Parkway Drive, 6th Street, and then this looks, I mean, it has its eyes directly on the radar right there.
Yeah, now, you can't say for sure if it will directly strike and damage the radar, but it is, it's been a while since we've seen this significant of a tornado this close to the radar site that is about to, really get an up close and personal look at it. Now, here's some damage that our Charles Peak has come across, and he's in the North Little Rock area. Obviously, trees have been snapped off. Look at that tree on the right-hand side. And looks like, was that vehicle damaged by that fallen tree branch? Sure looks like it.
It looks like it on the back there, and those trees stripped of all the leaves, trees down, of course. Wow, and just think how quickly that happened. We've been watching Charles Peak out there as we saw the storms rolling in, and then this is just moments later already seeing some damage, and of course cars, you see folks walking around out there, so I don't know if that folks were in their car or if they are coming outside to see what has happened.
I mean, for whatever reason, that car is out in the middle of the road. I don't know if the tornado pushed it there or they were driving and that's where they got struck, but you notice this tornado went through in a very short amount of time, so it's long gone now from this particular spot, moving so quickly, and now it is moving in through the Sherwood area. It's like across the street from the Weather Service radar.
Yeah, and this is has eyes set on Sherwood right now, still observing a tornado on the ground. So again, if this is near your community, Sherwood here, just north of the Little Rock area, you are in a tornado emergency right now. We have confirmation right now, visual images. When we see these live shots here and you see what's actually happening, I hope that gives you some encouragement to really, really seek shelter immediately. I don't know what else we have to say.
Right, now, we've been saying take shelter, but you know what the Weather Service forecasters in Little Rock who issued this warning did? They went, after issuing the warning, went into their shelter, and they're still there because the tornado is right in their community. It was one thing to live in the backyard of your metro area, but to live the weather directly like they are. Follow their example. If you're in Jacksonville, if you're in Highway 38, 167, in that region, there are still areas downstream from North Little Rock that need to take shelter right now that are still in this tornado emergency.
Yeah, Jacksonville or 167 stretching down. The updates that we're getting from the National Weather Service, as you mentioned, they're actually in their tornado shelter right now as this has rolled right over them. So Gravel Ridge, Tonyville, getting up through Parnell. These are areas that in just what? It's 14, 15 minutes. This is going to be in your area. So as we were talking earlier, this is just a very quick event, and this may not be the last storm that you see in these areas.
Right, again, these supercells are moving at highway speeds, 50, 55 miles an hour, and that is because of the strength of the deep layer flow in the atmosphere, but that energy in the atmosphere is also what is causing these supercells to ingest rotating air parallel to the ground, turning it into the vertical and sustaining it for a long period of time. So it's bad enough that we've got strong tornadoes, but when they're fast moving, that means they're going to be long track as well.
And we